Anthony Blinken's visit to NATO, results promised in yesterday's wrap-up, and we deliver what we promised, learn what Ukraine calls a clear picture now. Self-inflicted harm, how Putin turns Trump into an enemy. And the third topic is an interview. Former Secret Service of Ukraine officer Ivan Stupak is our guest tonight. What is going on in Kursk? New military aid for Ukraine, ins and outs of this terrible war. Good afternoon. Now we discuss these topics in more detail. My name is Henry Keane, and we are UATV English, bringing you the hard truth in easy terms as usual for the whole free world directly from Ukraine. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha said Ukraine has, I quote, clear picture of forthcoming military aid as he held talks with Antony Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, who was in Brussels on Wednesday.
We have a clear picture, a clear time frame, clear volumes of what will be delivered to Ukraine by the end of the year. This helps us strategically to plan our actions on the battlefield. Andriy Sybiha, Foreign Minister of Ukraine.
The assistance, Sybiha added, would include weapons and funds for arms production deals. Sybiha said he was cautiously optimistic after discussing with Blinken the possibility of conducting deep strikes on Russia, as well as Euro-Atlantic integration, of course. Blinken said in Brussels on Wednesday, President Biden has committed to making sure that every dollar we have at our disposal will be pushed out the door between now and January 20th, when President-elect Donald Trump is due to be sworn in. NATO countries must focus their efforts on ensuring that Ukraine has the money, munitions, and mobilized forces to fight effectively in 2025, or to be able to negotiate a peace from a position of strength. Blinken said that during the flying visit, the U.S. will adapt and adjust with the latest equipment it is sending. Blinken also said, without providing any details, of course, but he also reiterated the call for others to step up. We're counting on European partners and others to strongly support Ukraine's mobilization, he said, calling for more artillery, more air defense, more munitions, as well as training forces for Kiev. Sybiha stressed the need for the obvious. Nothing is done properly if not done enough. So we need more air defense. If that wasn't clear 3 years ago, maybe finally, after the latest Russian terror night attacks on Ukraine, it is. Russia is using Iranian drones, North Korean ballistic missiles and troops to attack Ukraine. Sybiha said Ukraine's defense cannot be put on hold. Blinken admitted he had discussed North Korea's actions with the NATO chief Mark Rutte after Pyongyang's troops had been injected into the battle and now, quite literally, in combat. Blinken called it a profound and incredibly dangerous development that demands and will get a firm response, because if not, more trouble to come. And blood, our Ukrainian blood, every single day. So we in Ukraine all hope it is obvious for now, and for all these clear pictures that somehow were blurred until now, I guess we all should say just one thing. Thank you, Mr. Trump. How to turn the one that is not even your friend yet today into sheer enemy tomorrow. Putin can surely do a masterclass on that. Russia has not changed its terrorist goals in Ukraine against the backdrop of Donald Trump's victory in the United States presidential election, says not only UATV English, but the American Institute for the Study of War reports that in a report dated November 13th, the Kremlin is trying to dictate the terms of any potential so-called peace talks with Ukraine ahead of the inauguration of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. The way the Kremlin is trying to establish its terms for negotiations strongly suggests that Russia's goals remain the same and still boil down to the complete surrender of Ukraine. The research reports, according to experts' observations, Moscow does not show any desire to make concessions to the Trump administration, as well as to his predecessor Joe Biden in particular. On November 13th, the spokeswoman of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Maria Zakharova, stated that Western officials are lying about their desire to achieve peace in Ukraine, and the only way to achieve this peace is, I quote Zakharova from now, to stop Western military aid to Ukraine. End of quote.
Zakharov's and Lavrov's statements also undermine Putin's recent attempts to feign interest in a willingness to restore US-Russian relations with the new administration of the US president, and instead indicate that Putin likely takes it for granted that the Trump administration will yield to the interests and preferences of the Kremlin without any concessions or advantages in return. From a publication by the Institute for the Study of War.
Recently, Russian dictator Vladimir Putin declared that he was open to dialogue with Donald Trump. The Washington Post then wrote that Putin and Trump actually had a phone conversation, and the US president-elect urged Putin not to escalate the war in Ukraine, which Putin openly spit at. Just Google latest attacks on Ukraine by Russian missiles and drones. Then Trump also reminded the dictator of the significant presence of the American military in Europe, which Putin ignored just as well. Moreover, the Kremlin officially denied the very fact of the conversation. Trump's team also did not comment on that. Of course, as the plan to stop a war in 24 hours, whatever that meant, seems not to be only Trump's plan now, as Putin's plan never changed. Never changed since the day one of his criminal adventure in Ukraine. It is burn, kill, deceive, repeat. Military experts and former Ukrainian Secret Service SSE officer Ivan Stupak is with us tonight. Secret Agent Roger, hello.
Do you read me? Hi.
Yeah, I do. Do you?
Yeah.
All right. Right. Well, more or less seriously, what's going on in Kursk, Ivan? How good, bad things are, or otherwise? Maybe shed some light for us, please.
Okay. Let's speak with the language of numbers. Okay.
Right.
On the 1st of September, Ukrainian armed forces controlled about 900 square kilometers of Kursk region.
Right.
Okay, clear. On the 1st of October, armed forces of Ukraine controlled only 770 kilometers. Okay, we've got it. On the 1st of November, we've got only 600 square kilometers. And right now, on the November 14, we've got the less than 600 square kilometers. So about 30% of previously controlled territory of Kursk region we've lost. So we have to understand it. But from the other hand, Russian armed forces, they launched their significant numbers of attacks. The main purpose is to repulse Ukraine from the territory of Kursk. Right. And the last counteroffensive operation, during this operation, Russia lost about at least 200 of individuals and about 56 units of heavy equipment. So it's APC, tanks, whatever. So they suffer huge losses, but nevertheless, they continue this offensive operation once again and again to reach its great purpose to repulse Ukraine from the Kursk region.
All right, well, I hope that we reach Ukrainian goal. I don't know what exactly it is. Certainly, this was an operation, wow. It certainly delivered the message to Western politicians that we can do it, and nobody did before that for 100 years, I believe. Got some Russian land. But let me slide to another question. Foreign Minister Andrei Sybiha said Ukraine has what he calls a clear picture of forthcoming military aid as he held talks with Anthony Blinken. So clear volumes and dates. How clear is the picture? Do you know anything on that? What I mean is, when is my question?
It's a terra incognita. Nobody knows. Because for several times, President Vladimir Zelensky, he stated that on some points, Ukraine received the military support from Western countries with a delay for about 1 year.
True.
So just imagine 1 year delay.
Unbelievable. It's crazy.
And some promises never been realized. never been realized in the real life. So we have to understand it. So and the main idea, the Western countries doesn't have two things: the needed number of military equipment to supply Ukraine just to to fix the front line. And the second point is not so much European countries and the Western world. They have ability, not ability, will to
Right.
supply Ukraine with
There we
this
go.
equipment because too many concerns about
Escalation.
escalation,
There we go.
the red lines. So Ukraine find itself between the red lines
Hmm.
from the Russia and the escalation from the Western countries, and we are in the middle.
Right. Well, you know, look how fast, like how quickly everything changed uh, in the upcoming Trump's return, like a bumpy ride, and Blinken is in Brussels, and people are talking, and Poland is getting ready, and now we have that clear picture, whatever that means. So don't get me wrong, I am glad to hear that. But gentlemen, I mean, 3 years passed, 3 years, and like 30%. My idea is that if it is not done, if not done properly, that means enough, and not enough have been done. So my question to you is an expert. It's a speculation, Ivan, absolutely speculation. But if that would be for you to decide, what would you do with Kursk incursion now at the current state?
It's a tricky question. Okay,
It is. If you don't want to answer it, don't answer it. Say, I'm
okay,
just
I will try. I will try.
okay. Thank you.
For the first months of Ukraine in okay, let's be clear, invaded Kursk region. It was great operation without any doubts. We have shown to rest of the world that Putin is weak, his army not so good on its own territory, but since maybe the 15th of September, we stuck in Kursk region, and the best solution for Ukraine it was withdrawing from this territory, uh, but not just withdrawing, but showing to the world, okay, we've got everything we wanted,
Okay.
and we are leaving this territory
Mm.
not being defeated. It could be compared with a boxer. Just imagine the one boxer, he was defeated on the stage and he has to quit his career.
Good
Oh,
comparison.
it's not so good. And next example, when the
Right.
boxer decided, okay, guys, I quit career, but I leave not defeated. So
Right.
I'm good one. So I think that this second situation would be more preferable for Ukraine. But sorry, but we lost our time.
Okay, I would love to discuss the topic because I don't know anything about it. I'm just, an observer. But that will be maybe next time when we have time. Last question for tonight. You personally, Ivan, when you heard of it, were you afraid of Trump's return to power?
No, to be honest with you, because in Ukraine, okay, let be okay. I would like to be honest with you. In my
Yes.
bubble, I mean, in my surroundings,
Right.
with my friends, my relatives, we are sick and tired of being indecisive. So I'd like to see
Tell me
someone on
about it.
other part of the world with decisive, to be decisive, to be
To
mm,
act
to
already.
act, not to wait, not to
Exactly.
react, to be
Mm,
proactive. Okay, Mr. Trump couldn't be the person with the right decision for every time, but he is decisive. And I think lots of people, not only in Ukraine, in
true.
rest of the world, would like to
True.
see finally he will make something, some decisive steps. And lots of people
Yeah.
are waiting for it.
Well, couldn't agree more. I'm not very much into Trump, but I agree with you absolutely. Because there are decisions that are favorable for Ukraine, or not so much favorable, but at least you can, work with it, deal with it, something. And not just wait for half a year for some kind of a mystic tanks to be delivered or and other weapons that we're sitting on and we can't use because the restrictions cannot be lifted for some reason. Or escalation, citing the fears of escalation, whatever that means.
Lack of expertise from Ukrainian soldiers. Look, there are lots of examples when Ukrainians proved that, look, we could operate with any type of Western-produced equipment. It doesn't matter. Patriot system,
go.
okay. F-16, okay, we could do it. Just provide Ukraine. If you don't want to provide, sell it to Ukraine. We will sell it. We will borrow it. Please do something.
You're absolutely right. Well, thank you so very much, Ivan, for your time, expertise, and emotions, and for shedding some light. And that makes two of us the same feelings. Thank you so very much. I hope we talk soon.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Goodbye. Military experts and former Ukrainian Secret Service officer was with us, Ivan Stupak. Thank you, Ivan, and we talk with him soon. That's all, folks, at least for tonight. My name is Ernikin, and I and my team at UATV English are thanking you so very much for your time. We appreciate it a lot. Please like, share, comment. It will in turn help the voice of Ukraine to be heard globally. So please stay safe and tuned for more UATV English. In our weekly wrap-up, a guest is expected that you shouldn't probably miss. American Marine Scout sniper Matthew Simpson, very much live in our studio, and his 700 Days Fighting in Ukraine story. So see you online then. Goodbye.